Alright, so what we're doing today is I'm actually going to swap the rear beams this time because I've been having some shake issues. Seriously. Alright. Either way, I've been having some shake issues, and the wheels have been, I had them properly balanced. I paid $10 for someone at my work to do it, so that worked out good. But the Aspire beam that I curbed, I think is just bent too far beyond belief, and I think the washers that I put there are not sufficient, and I think that when it's tracking, the wheel that I curb is tracking that way, so it's like pulling off to the side too hard, and then it's hopping, and I think that's what's giving me my shake. But either way, I already went and got the Festiva beam off, and it was really easy to take off since I've already had it off before. And then I just got the wheels and hubs off. I just unbolted them. Oh wow, it's dark. Sorry. I just unbolted them because they were already. It was really easy to do. It took literally 5 minutes. Then I got a new gas tank, just because I figured if I'm doing this again, might as well just have a brand new gas tank, because the one that's in there that came out of the red car leaks a little bit when it's over a certain point. It had like a hole right here that I sort of patched up. It didn't really work that well. Either way, I'm going to put that in. Then I'm going to attempt to, while I'm at it, try and fit my fuel pump on this one. This sender, so because my fuel pump is mounted up in here, but if I could have it in the gas tank, I'd feel a little better. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna get a coat of paint on this beam, and then I'm gonna pull this beam off. I didn't film any of that because it was easy and it was raining, so I didn't want to get as more wet doing that. But yeah, we'll hopefully I can get this done today. I have some stuff I want to do tomorrow. If not, I'll do it tomorrow, but let's get some work done. Alright, so the reason I didn't swap this beam on last time was you need to extend these top holes, and I didn't really feel like it. See, I got the beam up and down just so you can have reference. You need to extend these top holes. I read about 1/8 of an inch larger. So I'm just going to cut them. I'm just going to drill them out larger real quick. Then going to put some paint on this beam so it's not as gross. And then once I get the other brakes off, I'll test fit it. And if it doesn't fit, I'll make it bigger then. But I'd like the paint to start drying, so I'll get that done here. Alrighty then. So I got one of the Aspire drums off just because I decided halfway through drilling that it was taking forever. So I want to just make sure I drill it all the way correctly before I paint it. So when you're undoing your beam, just make sure you take your strut bolt out. You got your beam bolt off. I didn't take it off yet because it was still hanging. You want to undo your e-brake line, which I'm going to have to adapt. I'm probably going to just cut some things and weld them to just have the e-brake go back on that beam. And then you gotta make sure you undo your brake line, and there's a bolt that retains the brake line. Hopefully this bend is close enough so I don't have to make a big deal out of it. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use this to test fit my holes that I've drilled so far and see where I gotta go from there. But it's going faster than expected. Hopefully I don't run into something stupid. We'll see how it goes. Alright, so I've got the Aspire drum on the Festiva beam. You can see it bolted up, and I'll show you what I did to the beam here and right now. So basically, all you have to do is just elongate these top two holes like up and diagonally. So this is where the light's coming from right here, is the car, is like the body of the car. and that's a ground right there. So if you just bring the holes up and out a little bit, it will fit. And then I had to chisel away because there was like a bunch of rust and garbage in there, so I just chiseled away so I could get this center hole to fit, and it fit pretty good. It was snug, and then when I took the bolts off, I had to beat it off a little bit. Beat it off, that's funny. Sorry. Either way, yeah, it went on good, and I just got to do the other side. It probably took about an hour, 30 minutes to get that. All I was using is it's probably not the right bit, but it's like a conical bit with, it's for like deburring, but I figured it'd work. I bought this one, and then I bought this round one. I didn't know which one was gonna work better. This one was a little too big, but it was like $7 for both of those, so it wasn't really a bad deal. And it was way better than sticking a drill bit in there and trying to make the hole bigger like that. That would have taken significantly longer. But alright, I'm going to get the next part of this done. And then after I make sure both drums fit, I'm going to sort of scuff this up and paint it. I'll probably, while this is off, I'll weld some steel on this hole. It's like, this beam isn't perfect, but as long as it's not frickin' bent, it'll be fine. Alrighty. Alright, so now I've got an incredibly poorly painted black rear Festiva beam. It's very, very poorly painted, but I got all the holes. They all fit. See, there's a difference. Yeah, these ones are bigger right there. And I just gotta, this stud is spinning and I don't really have any more studs, so I'm just gonna get some weld on it and get a bolt on it. It'll be fine. But now next task is I'm gonna have to drop and empty the fuel tank that's in the car, then get this new one in. Woo! Alright, so I've got everything off, gas tank's out, beam's off, that beam is drying, all my rotors are, all my brakes are ready to get put on, just dicking with the gas tank. I'm trying to have a way to get this Walbro in the tank. I gotta figure something out here. I'm not sure what I want to do just yet. Maybe I can, because I need a way for it to suck from the bottom of the tank reliably. And it'd be cool to just suck out of the return. I could like get some pipe, but then it wouldn't be in the tank, huh? Alright, well I gotta do some thinking on this. I'll get back to you when I figure something out. Alright, so I've been dicking with the fuel pump for about an hour, and this is what I came up with here. So, I went out and I got a brass nipple, and then I've chopped off, I don't know, about that much, honestly, the size of this is the 11 millimeter socket piece. Shoot. Alright, I'm tired, sorry. So, I chopped about that much aluminum off of this, so there's barely some threads in here, there's some threads there. And then this sits right at the bottom here, and I couldn't really see in the tank when I put this in, but I assume this right here is pretty freaking close to the bottom of the tank. And I bet I could like put like some filter over this or something, I'm not sure. I've never had a filter on it, and I've never had any problems. Plus I'm putting in a new gas tank, I don't know. Maybe I'll get that later. Either way, so I'm just gonna stick a small piece of tube over this and over this, and then if I get a big clamp that's about the length of this combined, one clamp over it will hold both of them in place. And then I'll get some zip ties and zip tie it on, and I think it's gonna work out good. It should be better than the mess I had before. But it's freaking dark and rainy. It's been raining all day. That should be dry by the time I'm done with this, and then hopefully the car doesn't shake when I'm all done. Alright, so I've got the fuel pump all set up. I had to, I lost my pin. I probably shipped the fuel pump pin out with my old fuel pumps. But I repinned the extra sender I had, and I put some higher gauge wires in it because big pump needs big electricity. So I haven't tested this sender, but I know that the other one did not work all the way, but it was kind of bent, so maybe it gave me wrong readings because the level thing was bent. But hopefully this one just works perfect. So then I got my clamp there, zip ties because I'm professional, and then I just tested out my electricity because I didn't actually look at the way it was supposed to go. But I got my blue hot wire and my black ground, and they actually output what they're supposed to. So I just got to get these plugged onto the terminals up there, and we will be good. Then I get to finally start putting this thing back together. It is dark and rainy still. I want to go inside. Alright, so got the gas tank in. I've got the beam on. I just gotta put the rotors on, put wheels on, and bleed the brakes. And then I gotta find a bolt right there for the e-brake. One of them fell out. It only had one in there. It still worked, but yeah, I gotta hook the e-brakes up too. Gotta hook everything up. But other than that, it's pretty much done. I tested out the gas tank, make sure it was running. And the pump inside the tank was working fine. So yeah, it's just it's going. Alright, so we got this rear beam on, Festiva rear beam on the Aspire brakes in the rear. It does look a little lower. The beam is more flexible because it does not have the sway bar. It definitely drives not as scary. I don't really have I wish I had a buddy to go out with me right now, but I don't, so I'm not really going to go get any driving footage or anything like that, but it's sitting pretty. It looks good. And yeah, the beam swap definitely fixed some of the bend. That fixed the bend that was in the rear beam, but it's still got a few issues, but it's definitely drivable. I drove it about 80 miles yesterday on the highway, and it wasn't too bad. So it worked out pretty good. Alright, see you guys.